Michael Zerafa is ready to give Australian boxing fans the fight they've been waiting for, exclusively telling Fox Sports News that he signed his half of a contract to take on Nikita Tszyu. He's now just waiting on the younger Tszyu to sign his. Zerafa spoke to our reporter, Cody Kay.
Mick, look, let's get straight to it. The fight everybody wants to see in this country at the moment is you and Nikita Tszyu, if not Tim Tszyu. There's always been a lot of noise around it. This has been a rivalry that goes back to when you and Tim were supposed to fight all those years ago, and you supposedly walked out on that fight. Do you think you and Nikita are going to fight?
Look, the rivalry is between me and Tim, but now there's such a build-up with me and Nikita. So at the end of the day, it's still Zerafa v. Tszyu. It's a massive fight. It's a fight that I want. I believe I beat both of them, but, there's steps, and I've beaten Mikey Dalman now. I'm highly world ranked. I'm sitting at number 7 in the world, and I've ranked across all 4 sanctioning bodies, so I'm highly ranked. And, these guys need me to elevate their career at this point in time. Tim sadly got, those 3 losses that set him back, a lot, and Nikita's on the climb. So beating me will elevate them back in the rankings.
Look, my understanding is that there's a chance this fight could happen this year. It's really whether or not I think Nikita decides that he's ready for that. If Nikita decides he wants that fight and you guys find each other in the ring, how careful do you have to be of that left hand?
Oh, look, you've always got to be careful. I mean, he can punch. He's giving credit where credit's due. He's beaten and knocking out everyone that's been put in front of him. So I respect all my opponents. I never look past anybody. But when it comes down to, fight night, I just truly believe I'm the levels above. I mean, when I was fighting for world titles, he was in the amateur ranks, trying to think if he wants to be a professional or not, So I've been around and I've fought everybody, and I just purely think that when it comes to fight night, I'll just be levels above.
If Tim comes back, and we don't know where Tim is at in his career, even if he wants to continue his career, I think knowing Tim, I'm sure you agree that he probably doesn't want to retire. I know he's been over in Japan just getting away from the sport for the first time in a long time. If Tim comes back and says, you know what, give me Zerafa, what does that do for you? And is that a fight that you still jump at?
100%. It puts a smile ear to ear, because we've got unfinished business. And I've said it since day one that I'll beat Tim Tszyu, and people are starting to see now that he isn't as good as what he made himself out to be, and it's a 50-50 fight. I always think it's a Zerafa win, 10 fights out of 10 fights, but I mean, it motivates me. Like I said, we have unfinished business, and I understand he's going through some stuff at the moment because it's a bad spot to be in mentally, coming off a loss like that. But I wish him all the best, and hopefully he gets back to 100% because he's good for the sport. He's got that legendary last name, and he turns heads and puts bums on seats. So at the end of the day, he's good for the sport. But we have unfinished business.
Let me ask you this, Mick: is there a contract in front of you to fight any of the guys we've spoken about?
Look, I can't say too much. Look, all I can say is I've done my part on my end.
All right, Mick. Look, always a pleasure to speak to you, mate. And hopefully we speak to you soon about something really big because Australian boxing needs it.
I appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much.